everybody. We've got the cluster back out of the car now. We did receive our missing part, so we didn't receive the hardware for it, as you can see here. And then this is the inner bezel here that was missing. So we're going to go ahead and install this. I mean, this is a very large piece. I don't know how you can miss that when you ship something out. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and take this apart and get this reassembled and back in the car. All right, so let's go ahead and get started on that. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our number 3 Allen. Take these 4 screws out on top here. Like I said before, pay attention to the length of these screws because it does make a difference. So there's just 2 on the top here right now to take this outer shell bezel off, which is this piece here. I think there's 4 on the bottom, so same hardware. Okay, this piece should slide off. Before I do that, I'm going to show you what it looks like with that piece missing. So, with that piece missing, you can see, like, inside here on the outer portion, you shouldn't be able to see any of that. Like I said, this piece over here is what fits in there. So, like I said, that's where we're installing, so we're going to take this apart. Oh, I think we forgot a screw back here. All right, let's take this next piece off. There is 4 here on top. right, so that's loose. I believe this should come apart. Let's see here. Oh, I got two on the bottom here. Like I said, make sure on these, like I said, the lengths, don't get them too long. The bottom, it doesn't matter. These bottom two here can be kind of any length, and there's nothing on the back side. But these top ones here and on the other piece, make sure they're short because you can damage the housing if they're too long. All right, it's got a wires we got to feed through here in the back. So that's free. And then we're going to have to flip this upside down to expose the other screws. All right. Flip this around. And then it has some Phillips in the corners here and then in the center. The silver seems like they go in the corners, and there's some black ones that are in the center. Okay, so it's kind of keep an idea. Memory of where they go, all right? So remember, like a lot of this stuff here, like this box here and this harness here, I believe, that stuff is not factory. So if you have to repair your instrument cluster, you're not going to have a lot of these wires here. I believe the only wires you're going to have are the main plugins here. These two on the top, one on the side here, and these two over here. I don't believe you're going to have any of these. So, and then you got these, after you get the screws out in the center, you're going to have these tabs here that you're going to have to pop loose a little bit. And then that should come apart. There we are. All right, we'll move this out of the way temporarily. Over here. Pull this over here. Be gentle. And then this piece here should fit right in here. Okay. Put that down in here. This is kind of got these little covers here that are kind of in the way. So yeah, that goes over there, I believe. This, yeah, these are moved. So this is going to kind of go up here like this. That's going to fit in there like that. These are going to go down there in the corners. Nice. Fits in there nicely. All right, so we'll take these screws that they sent us. There's 4. We'll take those, put the top ones in. Let's get that started. Make a swing. You might have to move this cover out of the way here. Be gentle with it if you have to. Just kind of move it out of the way here. It exposes the LEDs. Try not to damage that while you're putting the screw in. Those are snug. These two here are snug. Be careful with this piece here. You don't want to break it. It should have like the little pins here that you place it on. There they are. They're all in place. We'll do the same on this other side. Move that out of the way. Set the bottom screw in. All right, so all four of these screws are snug around the outside. I'm going to reposition this cover here where it goes. All right, she's back in place. Now we can fit this front piece back in there. Make sure it's clean. It should slide over just like that. Much better. Much better looking. Put your little tabs over here. You hear them kind of click. There. That's in there. Then we're going to flip this over. Okay, so I believe the shorter screws on the black screws go on top, the shorter ones. Get that started. Same here. Make sure it fits together nicely. Like I said, don't go too crazy with these. You're already screwing the plastic. And then the bottom two, the longer ones. All right, those are nice and snug. Now the silver ones on the corners. All right. All right, those are in. I'm going to plug this back up. This doesn't need to be off anymore. That's plugged in. We'll leave that out. These will all be plugged in once the cluster gets in there. All right, so now we're going to flip this around. Oh, you know what? I can't put this on. I got to do this after it's installed. Sorry about that. We'll leave that out. So we have to put it in this case here first. So we're going to flip this around and then guide these wires to the center here. All right. Guide all these through the center here. Make sure you don't lose any of them. Looks like it's all lined up. I'm going to flip it over here and just make sure all these wires are through. That one's here, that one's here, the two RCAs. This and this goes here now. You can install that one. That's installed. This is on the car. These three here are on the car side. So I'm going to flip this back down a little bit here and then install these black short ones here. Up here. Get started. That started. Now, don't force anything. Just make sure this all should line up nicely. If it's not lining up, something's wrong. You got a wire pinched or something. So. Alright, so I'm going to leave those loose for a second here. Put these two in the bottom. And now I'm going to snug everything up. Like I said, don't go crazy tight. It's just plastic. Yes, what is fucking going on here? we've got everything installed now, and as you can see, it looks a lot better. You can't see those white areas around the perimeter. You can't see the screws. So at this point, I believe we're going to be ready to install this back in the car at this point. So if you got any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Like I said, the repairs, I'm not sure what they did. Like I said, we just took it apart, sent it out, and then reassembled this. And now, like I said, we're going to go ahead and reassemble this back into the car. And hopefully I didn't mess anything up by taking it out, but everything was working. We may have some faults again that we're going to have to reset because we took it out, but I don't suspect anything else. But anyway, I'll leave it here for right now and then continue recording when we do the install. All right, so we're getting ready to put this in. I found a clip here. This was missing. So I've installed the clip here. So this should be ready. These two here are going to be picked up on the car right here. And then these here are going to be picked up on the glare shield. And then these four back here are on the car side also. There's four here. So we get that in place. We'll put those pieces of hardware in there and then hook up all the harnesses and stuff. All right? So we're going to go ahead and place that in there, and then I'll show you what I got going. All right, we've got this just sitting there right now. I'm probably going to hook up all the harnesses first, just in case I need to move it around. It'll make it a little easier. But anyway, it's sitting where it's supposed to be. Back in there's a hardware that goes back here, and then don't forget there's a piece of leather that attaches to the front of this. Make sure you get that tucked underneath that instrument cluster on both sides. And then there's four areas up here across the back. They get attached. You can see there's two on this side right there, and there's going to be two on the other side that you may or may not see. But all right, so we're going to go ahead and, like I said, hook up the harnesses now, and then we'll go ahead and put the hardware in. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to do that. All right, we have all the harnesses hooked up right now. So like the blue, the gray next to it, and then there's under the centerpiece there's a white that's kind of underneath that overhang, and there's one inboard of that. Those are factory hookups. The rest of this wiring is all extra. I'll put it back in its place once I get the screws in there. Like I said, there's two screws missing here, two on the opposite side, and then we've got a couple up front. So we're going to go ahead and put those in and get that wiring all sorted out. All right, so I've got the hardware, the 4 bolts up here installed and secure. Like I said, there's 2 on this side, 2 on the other. You really can't see. They're underneath that harness. I'll just have to push that harness down in there, kind of straighten it all out. And then we're going to go ahead and install the hardware in the front. So we're going to go ahead and I'll do that. All right, now that I got the hardware installed on the top, I got to put 2 fasteners into this side. I'm not sure I can point them out. One goes here, and one goes right directly behind it, further back. So 2 go on that side, same on the other. And then if you can see it, it's kind of hard to see here. Like I said, one goes right there, right here. I'm pointing to it with my flashlight, and one goes directly behind it, further back. So I'm going to install those now, and then go on from there. All right, we've got our 2 pieces of hardware in the front here. Like I said before, I'll point them out. one here, and one directly behind it. Like I said, you can't hardly see it. You can see it right there, the two. So those two need to be installed. Same on the other side. The back one's longer. The front one's shorter. Same on this other side. Like I said, it's going to be kind of hard to see. There's a two right there. So now this piece of carbon fiber can be installed. It's just a press fit. You can see here there's a receptacle here, receptacle there. Same on this other side. I'll go grab them, and then they're just a push fit. They are tight, so when you take those off, you just pull directly aft, but they are tight. So let me go ahead and put those in for you. All right, so I have the carbon fiber piece. You can see it here. This piece here goes towards the steering column. You can see it's staggered. Same as that. That is staggered. So you can tell this is out further than this one. So like I said, that's how it's going to go in. And basically, if I can do it here, just go like this. Line your pegs up and just push it on. There it is. Doesn't sound very good, but that's it. Like I said, they feel very fragile. You know, I have to push that a little bit further on there, but that's how they go in. And the same on the other side. As you can see, that finished piece goes towards the steering column. As you can see, there, that one snapped in. You can hear that looks a little better. I'll have to redo the other side. But anyway, that's how it goes on. All right, and then the top we'll put on next. We'll put the hood on next. All right, so I've got the top piece here, and you can see there's got some brackets here. They will catch some slots on the top there. You got one over here. You got a friction pin here, one over here, and then your two screws here, which go through the top of the cluster here. One there, one over here. So what you're going to do is you're going to put that on there and then push back when you're installing that. So let me get it up in place. I want to use two hands when I do that. All right, so we've got this top portion installed now. Basically what you do is set it on the top here and make sure all your grooves are engaged. Slide it aft, or no, slide it forward, I'm sorry. Slide it forward, and then check your screws for alignment. And there's two screws underneath here. There's one on this side right here, and there's another one on the opposite side, which is right here somewhere, right where my finger's at. So one on each side. Get those snugged up, and then that really that completes the installation of the instrument cluster at this time. So like I said, might have to go in, check for some fault codes, because we may have introduced some with this being disconnected. We'll have to go through the menu and see. But anyway, the removal is the opposite. Pretty easy to do. So if you got any questions or anything, don't hesitate to reach out. But it's just the opposite of how I installed this. Like I said, to remove this top piece, take those two screws out, pull this piece aft, and it should pop right off. You may want to tape up your vents here. They may get scratched, so be careful with those. And then don't forget to remove your little side panels here, one on each side, and there's two screws under both sides. Those can be difficult to come off, but they just pull straight out. And then take the screws out, and the screws on top, the cluster will come right out. So not a difficult process. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and we'll see, make sure everything turns on at least here again. All right, we'll turn this on. There we are. Go back to main. There we are. We'll start it up. Alright, everything seems to be working. His right screen's working. TPMS is off right now. The engine light's on, but that should go off momentarily. The only thing I did notice a while ago, you go to status here, the one TPMS module is not reading the right rear. So I don't know if there's a problem with that. I know the customer, that is a new module or sensor at the wheel, but it may take it a second to come on. We may have to drive it. It's raining outside currently, so I'm just gonna let it go. Maybe in a day or so when the weather clears up and I've got more time, I'll take it for a spin here, make sure that sensor goes out or comes alive, and so that comes alive, and then we don't have a light. Yep, there it is. So that seems to be working. All the sensors are working. Tire pressures are a little high, but I'm not going to mess with them. Maybe like a pound or so high. Other than that, everything seems to be working. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks.